Keir Starmer. This constant fact that he harks on about being chief prosecutor. He's not, he's called Director of Public Prosecutions. But chief prosecutor, what does it make him sound like? It makes him sound like a figure out of Stalin's Russia. In Starmer's eyes, he is clearly of impeccable character. He is always right.
How do you rate Keir Starmer's first 4 months as Prime Minister?
Well, the opinion polls tell us, don't they? They have plummeted in a way that looks a bit like an alpine avalanche. He's literally fallen off a cliff. I think there are very real reasons for this. When you're looking at this kind of thing, you always look, well, has there been anybody like this before? I think the answer is one very obvious figure, and that is Theresa May.
According to our internal sources, a staggering 75% of Labour MPs are now questioning Starmer's leadership. What's driving this shift? New evidence has surfaced that raises serious doubts about his capabilities. His aspirations to become Prime Minister by 2025 not only seem misplaced, they appear downright ridiculous. But it's not just the alarming statistics. His stance on women's issues is alienating crucial constituencies, and his misguided approach to trade relations with China only underscores his significant flaws. The evidence piling up against Starmer is becoming increasingly concerning. We're about to delve into the statistics, quotes, and behind-the-scenes drama that are transforming the Labour Party into an organization teetering on the edge of crisis. Prepare for a thorough analysis of the data that signals Starmer's impending downfall. Labour's support is plummeting at an alarming rate. This isn't just a slight dip, it's a catastrophic decline across the board, from economic confidence to overall approval. The party is losing ground among the voters it once counted on. The working class, young voters, and even residents of traditionally Labour-supporting areas are beginning to seek alternatives. This is a wake-up call that simply cannot be ignored.
So here is somebody, in both cases, both May and Starmer, who have a peculiar rigidity in a job which actually demands, yes, at times you have to be immensely firm, but you have to have something tactile. You have to have fingers that can sense, a nose that can smell, eyes that can see. These are people who simply don't have that. And the public understands it. They feel a sense of rigidity, alienation, something strange. Both of them are strange.
The waspy issue that Starmer is grappling with is critically significant. She is seriously eroding Labour's support among a vital voter demographic, and it's becoming increasingly clear that Starmer's drama is driving people away rather than drawing them in. But that's not his only challenge. When we examine his blunders in foreign policy, the pensioners' issues seem minor in comparison. Did you think Starmer's handling of retirement matters was a disaster? His approach to China is even more problematic. This is a genuine diplomatic crisis that is costing Britain dearly. Let's consider the real implications of his foreign policy missteps. Starmer is attempting to adopt a tough stance against Beijing, aiming to tighten regulations on Chinese investments in the UK. It sounds reasonable, right? However, he executes it so awkwardly, like a child in a toy store. He can't seem to decide whether to cater to human rights advocates or to appease China. The outcome is utter chaos, frustrating everyone involved. He is facing criticism from all sides. Even his own Labour MPs are saying that his policy towards China is nothing but empty rhetoric, which is genuinely concerning.
Is our Prime Minister actually our Prime Minister? Because so far, he seems obsessed with serving everyone else apart from the British public. Do you remember when he kept saying this?
I say to you directly, my government will serve you. Politics can be a force for good. We will show that. We've changed the Labour Party, returned it to service, and that is how we will govern. Country first, party second.
Country first, okay? Well, what have we had? It looks like him.
Why is this happening? Just take a look at the Labour Party's policies: increased taxes and significant cuts to benefits. Voters are not pleased, and they aren't afraid to express their discontent. People are reviewing their bank accounts and examining the Labour Party economic plans, and what they find leaves them feeling deeply disappointed and dissatisfied. Fewer and fewer individuals believe that the Labour Party can effectively address the economic challenges facing the nation. But that's not the worst part. Starmer's personal approval ratings are alarmingly low. The majority of Britons simply do not trust him, which poses significant challenges for his political future. It's not just about trust. Many doubt that the Labour Party can govern the country effectively. Increasingly, people are losing faith in the Labour Party's promises, which is genuinely concerning. We have never witnessed such a rapid decline in support for British politics. It appears that the Labour Party has struck an iceberg and is quickly sinking. However, these figures are merely the surface of Starmer's issues. There's much more beneath the surface, and we're about to uncover it. Just when it seemed that Starmer's week couldn't get any worse, he managed to alienate millions of women voters.
Can you explain to our listeners why a family that has an income in excess of £200,000 a year needs to have clothes or glasses bought for them?
No, I can't.
What's it? No, and I think that is where people look and think, well, it's like Animal Farm.
Yeah.
They looked from left to right, they looked from beast to beast, and they all seemed to be the same. I mean, that's the problem that they've got after only 2 months in office.
This is a significant disaster for an economy that is already in critical condition. Due to these foreign policy challenges, Labour MPs are starting to feel a deep sense of anxiety. They are beginning to question whether Starmer is the right leader for the upcoming election. More and more of them are contemplating leaving the party each day. Do you remember when the Labour Party used to stand united behind Starmer? Those days are long gone. Prominent figures are departing the party and openly voicing their criticisms. Key players are exciting. Louise Hay, the Minister of Transport, has already stepped down. Sue Gray, Starmer's Chief of Staff, has followed suit. Rosie Duffield, a notable Labour MP, has also resigned from her position. These are not just random supporters, they were among Starmer's strongest allies. Why are they leaving? Serious issues are brewing within the Labour Party. MPs are growing wary of Starmer's ineffective leadership. They are dissatisfied with his approach to critical issues and are speaking out about it. Starmer's recent decisions have provoked widespread anger. His positions on matters concerning WASPy women, tax hikes for employers, and other contentious choices have alienated voters across the board. This isn't just discontent, it's a genuine storm that could potentially oust Starmer from his position.
It's because you got that pit pension, which is not a huge amount of money. Now you got a little bit of a bump on it, which has bumped you up a council tax band, and it means you aren't getting the winter fuel payment.
Yeah. I'll get so much council tax paid, but they've bumped it straight up, you know what I mean? I didn't even know I was getting the pit pension, rise.
And you did vote Labour, didn't you?
I haven't voted for the last few years, but it's been out of condition in my health and that. And I thought, well, I will vote Labour this year, and I wish I hadn't of, because I've just took everything what the Conservatives did back off with.
They are utterly appalled that Starmer is rejecting lucrative trade deals without any viable backup plan. This only strengthens the opposition, making Starmer appear completely adrift on the global stage. But it's not just politicians who are feeling the pressure. British business leaders are in a state of panic. Since 2029, Chinese investment inflows to the UK have plummeted by an astonishing 95%. We're talking about billions of dollars that could bolster our economy. Companies engaged with China are seeing their profits soar, while small businesses that export to China are struggling significantly. The impact on the UK economy is becoming increasingly alarming, and this isn't just talk. We could potentially lose thousands of jobs across technology firms, schools, and various other sectors. The situation at universities, which rely heavily on revenue from Chinese students, is particularly concerning. Due to Starmer's stringent policies, these students are beginning to consider other countries. So what is this approach towards China truly costing us? Financial experts are raising the alarm, warning that we could forfeit up to £20 billion in trade and investment over the next 5 years if the situation doesn't improve.
Are we living in a Keir Starmer dictatorship? Rumours were swirling that Labour was going to cancel the local elections in England.
Why aren't they all going ahead?
And I would say, even before the white paper has been published,
maybe there's a problem with the line. Why aren't they going ahead, Minister?
Well, at the moment, the assumption is that elections are going ahead. However, it's usual in a process of reorganisation that when a council makes a request for reorganisation, that if there are elections taking place to a council that it essentially won't exist within the term of those elections, then you hold off the elections and you elect to a shadow body, and the shadow body basically is a form of the new councils that will follow.
It seems like he's intentionally trying to irritate every voter possible. But this situation goes beyond politics, it's a genuine crisis. Many believe that Starmer has lost his direction, and MPs are starting to seriously question his ability to lead, communicate and guide the party effectively. One seasoned Labour MP even remarked that things would likely worsen before they improve. That's a pretty harsh and unsettling assessment. Discontent is escalating at an alarming pace. An increasing number of MPs are openly expressing their concerns about the party's direction and Starmer's leadership, and they are genuinely worried about their political futures. Recent Labour rallies have been held in a tense atmosphere, and our sources indicate that the situation is dire. If the Labour Party performs poorly in the upcoming local elections, we could see a mass exodus of MPs. They are already on edge, and disappointing election results could be the final straw that breaks their patience. Some even speculate that a significant upheaval may occur. Starmer's inner circle is also fracturing. His advisors and longtime allies are beginning to distance themselves, as if sensing an impending crisis. It's like a house of cards about to fall. The pressing question is, how much worse can it get? And will Starmer be able to turn things around before it's too late? Time is running out, and the stakes are incredibly high. What do you think about this video? See you later.